Man, oh man, this stuff is like
Amazing. I've got to tell someone about this.
one of my favorite chocolate milks. Well, it's not really milk. Man, if I could get sponsored by OTLY. Anyway, guys, welcome back. So today, quick frontside action pre-market, and I went ahead and wrapped it up because I'm doing the August kind of one frontside move per day challenge. Every time I call it a challenge, I feel like it's a weird thing to say because really it's just something for myself, trading slower markets, getting aggressive, and then getting out, and then pretty much having more free time. So in my free time, what do? Well, ideally I go outside, but I already did that today, and I'm going to go back outside in a little bit. However, there is something else that I love doing, and I'm pretty much doing it 24/7, and that is looking at good buying opportunities. And I gotta say, there is one buying opportunity that is just screaming right now. As a momentum trader, I have found a ticker that I kind of like where it's floating around. Now, I was doing some research, and you guys could do obviously your own due diligence on this ticker. There's a lot of negative news on OTLY right now. There's a lot of sell-off. There's a lot of short reports going on, but I kind of feel like it's all a little bit inflated. Not to mention, really, I don't care so much about news and what other people are doing. I believe, like most trend traders, everything is shown in the price, and right now the price is showing me a potential for a good buying opportunity. That's what I want to share with you guys. First, I will go ahead, talk about my day trading today very quickly. So a little day trading recap, and then we'll go right into OTLY, one of the swing trades that I entered yesterday, which if you guys are in the Discord, you will already know that I am long it, or if you are following me or my portfolio on Trade Journal, you would have already known. So if you do want to learn more, don't forget to subscribe, join the Discord, and bookmark my totally free portfolio to watch. Everything you guys can find in the links below this video. Now let's dive into it. First things first, off to the trading screen. So where are we at? This is Monday, my watch list. Let me zoom in here a little bit, yada yada. And boo, where is it? It would help if I was on the right day. So this is Tuesday. Let me zoom in again. I actually have my watch list on my second screen. This screen is always pretty much purely for recording for YouTube. Usually I don't do much my other activities on this screen. So where am I at now? Okay, so we had 3 tickers popping up today at first. Now TBIO, this was an acquisition. I don't trade acquisitions because they're pretty much pinned once they are acquired, so it's not tradable, but it was a lead gapper, one of the 2 elite gappers at first. And then we had WHLM with no news, looked shady as heck, so I was like, probably not gonna touch this ticker. And then we had OTLK, and I was like, all right, finally a ticker that, you know, has some tradable specs and has a catalyst. So 89 million float, a little bit on the high end, 120 million market cap. Okay, it is what it is. 30% gapper pre-market. All right, can't complain. Anyway, guys, it like I said before, has a catalyst, but what's kind of sketching me out right a little bit was the sketchy flushes we were seeing on this ticker. That's why I was a little bit sketchy myself the way I was trading it. But again, I wanted to trade one front side of the day, and we saw that opportunity, so I did get aggressive. And then I was basically saying, let's see if we can find a trend on this ticker. So let's go ahead, check out this ticker, and then move on from there. This is it. This is that nice little first front side we had. So we had that first leg, extended hours yesterday, and then we were kind of consolidating, and there was always these, flushes that were kind of nasty, and they, didn't really compel me to want to trade this one super aggressively. So you notice I was using pretty small size. Around $10,000 is half size for me, and here I was trading it with about $6,000. So I was really lightening up my load. Not to mention yesterday was a bit of a red day, so and starting August was already pretty slow. So I was like, man, this is really not the time to punch it, and I'm pretty happy I did it. Maybe I could have made a little bit more money today, but ultimately it doesn't really matter. That's not the important part. So let's go ahead, zoom in here, and figure out how I traded this one. Well, ultimately, we were still ranging in this area, so we weren't really on a clear front side, but when we popped back above the 9 EMA, all I wanted to do was see if we can do a little bit of mean reversion and get back to the VWAP, and we did, so I had my first profitable trade there. Started closing out in this area, which was actually unfortunate because then we had that big 12% breakout here. Let me zoom in a little bit more here. Oh, that changed everything. The perception just changed totally, huh? And then here you can see the 4 hours. So we had that first big breakout, and when you want to start trading front side, and this is not totally on the front side yet, because on the 5 minute you can still see we're ranging between 288 and I would say around 330, somewhere in this area. So we're still technically in a ranging pattern, but I would argue there's a bit of a mini front side, right? Because here we're kind of ranging in this area, now we're breaking back above VWAP, and once this ticker is really aggressive. So if we scroll back here a little bit, the front side moves are quick and it doesn't pull back that much. So that's why I started trading this one just as aggressive. I was buying always pretty near the top and then taking profits pretty quickly, which, isn't ideal, but as a momentum breakout trader, that's more or less what you're doing. You're buying high to sell higher. So let's go ahead, scroll here a little bit more. Eventually, we did have a nice little 9 EMA pop. Unfortunately, I think I stumbled over myself. This was my first loser of the day, lost 5 cents a share, not a big deal. It was smaller size, so that's nice. Then ticker pops back up. I buy into the breakout. Nice little win there, kind of puts me back on the nice P&L scoreboard. And then at this point, I was like, okay, this ticker, let's see what happens here. I had some limit orders that maybe I can accumulate this one and sell into a pop, but you could really feel that the buyers were a little bit back on this one. There were still a lot of sellers, but I would say at this point, like every dip was being bought up. So I was like, all right, time to get a little bit more aggressive on this ticker. And then as this one starts popping out, that's when I get aggressive on this one, buying and selling, buying and selling. A lot of kind of scalpy trades, more scalpy than I would like to be. But, right now the market's not super hot. OTLK, also not the hottest ticker, and I wasn't, getting super aggressive. But we have a ticker over 40%, over 100%. Those are tickers I'm going to use, half size, full size on. I'm going to hold longer. But right now, it's not really the time for it. That's why I'm taking profits extremely quick. A little bit of a pullback here, but you can see it's just a lot of fake out action. Now, at this point, I was like, last time we had a little bit of an extended pullback, so you wanted to really edge into the pullback and wait for that pop. And this is what kind of allowed me to be profitable for the day, is we had that pullback right here. This is a little hard to see that, but this basically dipped down to 322, 321, and I edged into that, and then we had a nice pop to the upside here. I wanted to hold a little bit longer to see if we could get a second green candle, but it was very weak at this point, so I pretty much just went ahead and wrapped it up on that second candle. And I pretty much think that was done. And a big reason I pretty much finished up here is because we had clear resistance at 335, and I pretty much just went ahead and wrapped it up in this area and said, okay, so be it, that's it. I'm done with this one. So I'm wrapping up 490 on OTLY profit for the day. Not the biggest profit, like I said, but based on my position size today, around $6,000-$7,000 per share, this is actually kind of okay. It's like an 8% day, which really isn't that bad at all. We do have HJLI popping up here as well, a new ticker, which has a decent little front side here, you got to admit. Nice little returns, 13% right here. Well, let's see how fast this one could go. This is probably the downside of only trading one front side per day. You do kind of sometimes open yourself up to a little bit of FOMO, but honestly, I find a lot of value of just having more time offline. So, even if I do leave some profits on the table, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5%, whatever it might be, I think it's a good trade because I get more relaxation time, I get more time to clear my head, and I think that's pretty valuable in and of itself. So I don't really mind leaving money on the table, especially when the market overall isn't that hot. So, could I be trading this one till maybe move to 10 because there's clearly some good upside potential here? Yeah, of course. But you know what? I'm just not going to do it until the market's hotter, which most likely will be September, October, November, December. December is always a little bit tricky, but yeah. So now the ticker I want to be talking about is OTLY, OTLY. And this is a company that, as you saw in the beginning of this video, is a company that I personally really, really like. And if you guys ever read One Up on Wall Street by Peter Lynch, you would understand investing in what you know is always really important. Now for day trading and sometimes swing trading, less so. Definitely with day trading, I don't even know what half these companies do that I day trade, which is totally fine. Actually, it's better that way. I hate day trading companies that I know because it makes me automatically biased. I like day trading stuff. I have no idea what they do. It makes me the most comfortable. I know how weird that sounds, but that's how I'm able to get in and get out without any emotional attachment, holding on to my trades longer than I should. And I have not had a red month for almost 2 years, but we could talk about that in today's recap, which we'll be doing soon. So, okay, OTLY, big time sell-off ever since the little rally after the IPO, now around 47%. That's pretty strong sell-off for a company that is in this industry, I would argue. Right now, they have a market cap around $11 billion, which is still a little bit high, I would argue, not to mention that Beyond Meat is around $7.8 billion. And based on if you're in America or in Europe, right now I'm in Berlin, different companies will be a little bit more familiar to you. For me, coming from the States, I obviously know Beyond Meat more, but now being in Germany and Europe part-time, I do know OTLY quite well. It is freaking everywhere and people absolutely love it, including myself. And it was a company that I am always watching in my investment portfolio and always waiting to accumulate. And I did one of my first accumulations, not in my investment portfolio, but just as a swing trade, because I think there's a really good upside pot, but I do still think that there's more downside potential. So I'm a little bit weary on how I want to trade this one. I think this thing had a huge sell-off and now it's starting to find a little bit of a low. We had a higher low right here. So this is technically a potential uptrend right now. We have huge resistance around 19, so I want to be a little bit weary on that, but if we can get a pop above 19, I think we could get a pretty quick run here towards $20, and that's where I want to potentially take profits, because this was a low of the IPO. So right now, I think we had that nice classic breakdown, and now we're going to have maybe a retest in this area. So for me, this is going to be a really quick trade, and by the time you're watching this trade, most likely it's not going to be valid anymore, but what you could take away, I would say, are two things: day trading momentum, looking for clear support and resistance, either for breakouts or retests. And then if you are more of an investor, I personally think OTLY is a little bit more of a high valuation at this point, and I do think there's a little bit more downside potential. Anyway, I didn't have any funds available in my IRA account, unfortunately. So what I did was I had my, where is that? My Robinhood account. Where's this one hiding? I had $1,000 just chilling in Robinhood for way too long because I wanted to buy some IPO shares at one point. I don't know, whatever good opportunity came up. Unfortunately, there was never the time, this IPO access right here, when I was super convinced like I was getting a really good price, so I haven't just done it yet. But then, lo and behold, OTLY really pops down here, and I start seeing that it might have a pullback at the open, and I wanted to buy some. So I put a chill little limit order in here. Let's see if I can find a little bit more out here. So I put a nice little limit order in yesterday. Where was that? Limit to buy at 1793, and I went ahead and already placed an order, a sell order at 1972. So this is going to be a pretty quick trade. It's already totally mapped out, and if it doesn't go my way, I'll be getting out if we do not fail to break out past $19. I want to see this break into $19. So what happened was yesterday, we had a little bit of a sell-off, a morning panic. I ended up buying into that panic, arguably too soon, because it sold off another almost 2% before it rallied up here. What I really like is the fact that it's holding its highs really, really well. Maybe there's going to be temporary shorts that close their positions because of the reduced risk right now, risk reward, because I would say the downside's around 4 or 5%, while the upside's a little bit higher, around 6-7%. Obviously, where I entered, right around here, this area, the upside's around 10%, and the support right here is, I'm only risking around 1-2% before I would close this position. So we're talking about 1 to 4 risk reward where I went into the trade, and that's why I entered this ticker. Now, again, smaller position size, so at best I might walk away with 10% profit, which is a really nice percent, but with only $1,000, that's like $100 profit. So it's nothing life-changing, but at the same time, it's a fun little trade opportunity that I saw, and I found like it was a good time to use my Robinhood cash. Not to mention, see if the platform got any better, and my God, Robinhood, I'm still trying to figure out why people use Robinhood. Except I hear it's quite good for options, and I don't do options, so maybe I have to go down that road. Anywho, that is my trade. I would love to know what you guys think about OTLY. Are you guys waiting for more of a sell-off? Are you guys in this trade as well, trading something similar? And what other swing trade opportunities are you looking at? Because in every market, there's always a good buy opportunity somewhere. You just got to find it. And also, cash is a position in and of itself, something we don't talk about enough on this channel. But right now we have a really good rally going on with crypto. We have many kind of SPAC companies that are totally sold off that might be good accumulation zones, and the IPOs this year are just on fire. So there's many companies worth looking at. For me, I'm trying to keep it a little bit more safe right now, see if we can sail through August by reducing as much risk as possible, and then start getting aggressive again as the market heats up. We'll see what happens this summer, but honestly, most summers markets are a little bit slower, and right now a lot of people are going back out with Corona loosening up. Very debatable because right now Delta, I mean, in Florida, we have more hospitalizations than ever before. That's my home state, and I mean, it's really not looking good over there. So I don't know. Maybe August is going to be a little bit hot depending on how many people end up staying indoors. Anyway, guys, that's my analysis. I like to keep things very, very simple, so I hope you understood. If you didn't understand, I got to simplify it even more because I believe the best trading strategies are the easiest and most simple to understand. That's everything for this video. I hope to see you guys again tomorrow. Don't forget to drop a like on the way out. It's the easiest way to support the channel. Consider subscribing if you're new. We'd love to see you in the YouTube comments section and in the Discord. And like always, stay safe and make some awesome trades. Ciao, ciao.